evening, our beautiful viewers. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new program called the Entrepreneur Spotlight here at Jamono Media. Welcome. The program intends to educate, showcase, and enlighten young individuals that are in business or have the intention to be in business. And today, our guest is Mrs. Sylvia. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation.
Welcome. Hi, Binta. Thank you so much for inviting me. And good evening to all the ones that are following the program.
Thank you very much. Now, tell our audiences who you are.
So, my name is Sylvia, as you said. I am originally from Italy. I moved into the Gambia in 2015, and since then I am living and working in the Gambia. My background is psychology and psychotherapy. So, what I do, I know that majority of people, they don't know what is a psychologist. So in few words, I just help people to deal with feelings, to deal with thoughts, and to feel more comfortable with their life, and also to increase their peace of mind, I would say.
So what have you been engaged in ever since you came to the Gambia?
Okay, so I established an organization that is called Peace of Mind in 2018. And since then, we are very active in promoting mental health, and also in responding to issues that are affecting young people, adults, families, but also institutions in general in the Gambia.
What motivates you to venture into that field?
Okay, so I think that when I was young, I really struggled a lot with my life, and I really struggled a lot to accept the difficult things that were happening to me. So I was basically struggling with my emotions. And I put myself in the psychology field without really realizing that it was first for myself. But after a while, I just realized that I needed to heal. And now that I am healed, I can also help the other people to do it.
Talking about mental health, can you put us through what actually is mental health?
Yes, of course. So mental health is something that is not really understood by people. And I'm glad that you are bringing me here today, because I think that mental health is a real core part of our life. So mental health is basically a state of well-being in which we can reach our full potentials, we can work productively and fruitfully, we can cope with stresses of life, and we can also contribute to our communities. Of course, it's not possible every day to be in this state of well-being, so it comes that mental health is something that is fluctuating, just like our physical health. So sometimes it's high and sometimes it's very low.
Okay.
And of course, it can be low up to the point that we can develop a sickness. So just like we develop physical sickness, we can develop also mental health sicknesses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this topic mental health something new? Because stress has been here for ages. Is it something new to talk about mental health? Is it something that is very common in people?
Yes, but unfortunately there is a lot of stigma around it that make people to avoid to talk about it. And also it talks about our vulnerabilities. And normally we don't like to be vulnerable and to talk about what is not going well. Yes.
So if as an individual with an organization that helps people to deal with their mental health, how do you help people that are actually into that?
Okay, so at Peace of Mind, we are offering individual services to individuals that are having different type of issues. So we can meet people that are having mild to moderate and up to severe mental health issues. When they are in a severe state, it means that they have a sickness and they really need to look for also sometimes medication and medical attention in order to feel better.
Who is good mental health mandatory upon? Is it mandatory upon me? Is that mandatory upon you, or only individuals that are in your organization?
Okay, so since there is no health without mental health, I would say that mental health is everyone's business.
Really?
Yes, so children, adults, elderly, males and females, we should all take charge of our mental health and make sure that we have a good care plan in place, and also a good level of self-awareness in order to understand when our mental health is going down.
But how does one realize that you need to exercise good mental health?
Yeah, so, as our physical health, we need to take care, because if we don't take care of our body, we can get sick easily, right?
Absolutely.
So for mental health is the same. We need, first of all, to be aware, and second, to start to take care to our body, because it's also part of our mental health, but also to our mind, the way we think, to our feelings, so the way we manage our feelings and our emotions.
Okay.
So we can realize when our mental health is going down by some, let's call them symptoms that can happen to us. Maybe we can start not to sleep well, for example. We can start to have mood swings. We can start to procrastinate things. We can start to avoid people and withdraw. We can start to express or to experience strong feelings like anxiety, low feelings like sadness. We can start to have problems with manage our anger, and maybe we can start also to misuse drugs, for example. So those are all symptoms of poor mental health. And sorry, let me just finish this. When those symptoms are in place for a long time, so meaning for at least 4 weeks, it means that we are developing a mental health sickness. If they are just coming and going, it's also part of life.
Which is a sign of a poor mental health in some cases. So, if what are the traits or the symptoms to look for individuals that are having this mental health? Because every country has its norm. Now, it's not common for some people to come and tell you, I have a problem. People hide their emotions and their feelings a lot.
Yeah.
Now, how do you identify these traits in individuals?
Yeah, through the behaviors.
Through their behaviors.
Through the way that they are eating and they are sleeping, through the way they are interacting with the others, through the way they are performing, either in school or at work. But
as an individual, I wake up every day, go and do my work, come back, chat with people, go back and bed. Is it very common? How do you know that? Because people will say, stress is a common thing.
Yes.
Yes, it's common. What?
Yeah, but for example, in the Gambian society, you can have individuals that cannot manage their anger, so they usually throw the stress and the anger on other people. So that is already saying something. You have individuals that are abusing drugs. That is another symptom. You have individuals that are not performing, that are avoiding places and people, that are closing themselves in the room and not interacting. So you can have different signals, but if you are not aware, you just think that they are just like that, or this is just their attitude, or they are just rude and they cannot interact with people, whilst they are going through something and they are not even aware of what, and their mental health is deteriorating.
So these are not only signs, these are not only personality attributes, these are also signs of a poor mental
health. Yes.
Wow.
I would say that.
Wow. So how has your experience been like in the Gambia? You have been here for some time now.
Yeah.
How has your experience been like?
Okay, so yeah, it has been a journey. So when I arrived, I was just looking for a job. And I said, with all this organization and with all this vulnerability, for sure I will find a job easily as a psychologist. And to my surprise, no vacancy. I tried to link with other psychologists, no psychologists in the Gambia. So it was a surprise. By then I understood that, mental health is still attributed, sorry my English, to spirit possession. So all the symptoms of mental health are usually explained through the spirit possession view, which is part of the tradition and is fine, but I think that now it's time also to improve our knowledge about mental health, because the same symptoms that are here are also in Europe. So it means that we are talking about sicknesses.
Really?
Yes.
So for over the years, people thought our problems differ from Europe. Yes. When it comes to mental health, it's another thing.
I can say that they are the same problems.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm not here to say that genes doesn't exist. I'm not in that position, but I can say that majority of time we are talking about sicknesses and we are talking about curable symptoms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since you start your organization, what has been the common mental health issues that you have noticed in a lot of people in this country?
In the Gambia?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm dealing a lot with depression, for example, so very low mood, difficulties to sleep, withdrawing from the social interaction, panic attack, the depression that goes up to the point that people want to kill themselves, so they start to have suicidal thoughts or suicidal attempts. Then I deal a lot with anxiety, which is intense fear, worries, concerns, up to the stage that it can turn to panic attack and anxiety attack. So, for example, a lot of girls that we are seeing falling down in the school, they are actually having anxiety attack. So probably they are used to bottle up a lot and to keep everything inside themselves. Yes, so this is the way that...
That leads me to the question, is it very common for people in this country to have suicidal thoughts? Everybody is living with their family. Everybody is living with someone. They are waking up, going, obviously, putting on a beautiful smile. Is it very common in this country?
In this country, people are suffering in silence.
Oh,
yeah. So, to my experience, I don't have data to show, but I see all my clients are just carrying weight and they are suffering in silence because the society is always pushing to be strong and to take things, to swallow things, things will be fine. But some individuals are just sensitive and they cannot
take it all.
Yes, they cannot take it or it's too much, and so they start to internalize and to bottle up, and when the carpet, is showing that there are so many things behind and things start to come out.
Absolutely.
That is when, they ask for help. But I noticed that, yes, people are suffering in silence. And since it's a small community, you don't know who to trust. So you prefer to keep everything for yourself.
So does that mean that those that are living with their families suffer more than those that are living alone? What has been the trend like? Because we expect people that are living with their families to be in a happier state or in a happier mood. So how would you explain that?
Yes, I noticed that in some families there are some dynamics that are very unhealthy. And especially for young people, it's hard to change them.
Does it have to be behavioral? Does it have to be a pattern that is unhealthy?
Yes, it's usually the fact that you cannot really be yourself. You need always to follow what they are telling you to do or to be, and you have to follow some norms that maybe they are not in line with who you really are. I notice also that some people are abused, and they are maltreated in the family because maybe they are not the biological children, but they are growing in a family that, yes, is taking care of them, but at the end they end up being, the slave or the ones doing all the job. So struggles and challenges are there.
Thought that when you are living with people, you have people that you talk to. So mental health is just beyond living with people.
Yes.
It has to do with your physical state of mind, which is also important as an individual. You cannot fully function without you being in a fully state of mind. So if these are individuals that are living with families and yet they are struggling with their mental health, how can they help themselves? First?
So they can reach out to Peace of Mind. We can offer a consultation, so we can help them to understand better about their situation. We can help them to understand better about peace of mind and about mental health. And every situation is different. So sometimes we can also invite the family members and mediate with them. Sometimes we can just work with the person in order to build their coping skills and work on their self-care. So every situation is different, but we can offer therapy, which means that the person can come and have, one-to-one time in a safe space, confidential, where everything will just kept.
as an entrepreneur and a young person that has the intention of being in a in business or is already running a business, you meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
You have partners, you have employees, you have clients at times who might be having these symptoms and they are not knowing it.
Yeah.
And I think one of the basic things is accepting it. When someone is not accepting something, you cannot get them to do it. How do you cope with all these things, especially if you're having an employee or a client who is very difficult and struggling with these symptoms? How do you help them out?
Yeah, so first of all, again, is awareness. So you yourself, you need to be aware of your own mental health and of mental health in general. And then, again, every person is different, but usually with, kindness, we can achieve so many things.
Okay.
With empathy, we can also achieve so many things. So, of course, if my mental health is poor, I cannot manage my feeling, and I meet a client who is just triggering my anger or whatever, it will be very hard to make my business, even to grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So suppose the individual walked in your comfort zone, or let's say your business, and the individual is a client having these symptoms. How are you going to deal with them when they are triggering you as an individual? How do you manage to cope with that?
Yeah, it's a very sensitive. Because people are feeling ashamed.
Sure.
And because the stigma again. So I don't know if you can find out, and some people also are in denial, so they are not ready to accept that they are having, mental health issues. So I would say that you need to find yourself in the situation and try your best to just not make the situation worse.
Okay.
And maybe try to create a relationship with that person in which she or he can feel safe, and then maybe you can address part of the mental health.
In that kind of situation, does calmness help when they are shouting, talking, screaming? Would that help? Being calm and talking to them nicely at a certain extent?
Yes. Okay. I always talk about grounding, so meaning that we feel like we are in our center and we are grounded, so we can also help someone else to join that state.
So are there books or mental health tips that you want to give to people who might not even have the access to you right now, so that they can help themselves to deal with any problems that they are facing right now?
Yeah, thank God we have Google now, so we can know so many things. I would say that it's time to read about mental health, to read about how mental health is affecting how mental health issues are affecting our health and our ability to function. And I would say start to take care of yourself, because you have only yourself, and God give you, let's say, a piece of land, and He wants you to take care of that piece of land.
Sure.
So you need to learn how to have healthy boundaries, how to, to nurture your own piece of land with the right amount of water, the right amount of nutrients. You need to understand what is good for you, what is not good for you, which people are healthy for you, which people are toxic for you. You have to learn how to not to follow your thoughts, but just,
How do you do that? How do you not follow your thoughts?
You can educate your minds.
Really?
Yes.
And how do you not follow people? What if you are living with people that are toxic? How do you not follow them? It's very difficult.
It's very difficult.
How do you do that?
Especially in our society. But you can still learn how to put your boundaries.
Boundaries, important. Let's talk about boundaries. What are boundaries? And how can one put up or build up a good boundary?
Yeah, that is a whole topic itself. But I noticed that in the Gambian society, since you are young, no one is really teaching you about boundaries. So everyone can do everything with your things. Everyone can invade your space. So growing up is just like you end up in pleasing people or in putting people before you, and everyone can just take advantage of you because you are told that people are more important than you.
Which is really part of our culture, because as a young person, you are advised to always, be obedient, to always do as the elders say. That is a culture that has been embedded in a long time. Now, it's going to be very difficult if your triggers are coming from people that you are living with or individuals. I would like you to emphasize on the importance of maintaining good mental health.
Creativity, uniqueness, elegance are all about fame. Are you looking for uniquely designed Ankara t-shirts, hoodies, shoes, or Ankara-made bags? Or are you a passionate beads lover looking for beaded bags and shoes? Well, worry no more, because Femme has you covered. We make all these products with elegance and creativity you ever desire. Send us a message on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at Femme Handicrafts, or call us on 21-65707 or 399-6585. Order now to rock our products that gives you more than the value you crave. At Femme, every product is a piece of art.
Yeah, you are raising a good point, the culture. So the culture is something that can also evolve according to how the society is changing. So I think it's also time maybe to question something about the culture and to realize that it's not that everything about the culture is okay for me, for example. Maybe I can take something and decide that something else is not for my health. So my clients that are coming here with mental health issues, they learn how to prioritize themselves and to put their health first, because when we are not healthy, we cannot function, right? Yes.
Now, talking about society, talking about the culture, talking about the patterns, all this as an individual, as an entrepreneur, an aspiring entrepreneur, because as you said, and your health has to start from you as an individual. How or when does healing start?
Yeah, so the healing starts when we start to put the attention there. And realize that we have wounds and that we need to take care of them. So the challenge is that when we get wound physically, we can see it, we can feel the pain, and we easily go either to the pharmacy, to the hospital, and we find people who can take care of them.
Sure.
But when we are wounded inside and we are bleeding inside, it's another story. Because no one is really there to tell us that we are bleeding. We try to deny it because it's painful, so we don't want to see it. And we can live our life like that, just trying to run away from the pain. But of course, our functioning is not up to our potential, because it is affecting us. Yeah. So the healing starts when we realize that I can take care of my wounds.
You can take care of and accept that you have wounds.
And accept that you have wounds.
Wow.
Sure. So now you are becoming a mental health professional.
So it starts with the acceptance, which is very difficult.
Yeah.
At times, this is a topic that, because everybody will think that people with mental health issues are those mad people on the street.
Thank you. Yes.
But not many people know. So that means there is a huge gap.
Yeah.
And I think sensitization is needed on that topic. And because if you think the people outside are the mad ones and you as an individual, it's going to be very difficult to accept that you are having an issue. Now, if you do not appreciate or accept that you are having an issue, you cannot cure
Work
that.
on it. Yes.
Now, why do you think people find it difficult to accept that they have?
Yeah, maybe because of what you already said, that mental health is directly related to the mad people in the street. But that is also a portion of mental health, because those people are having a specific sickness that is dealing with the reality and is dealing with the fact that they cannot stay in this reality anymore because the mind is going somewhere else. But inside mental health, we have different intensity and different duration of symptoms. So we need to start to normalize it and understand that it's part of life. So if I have problem with my stomach and I go to the doctor, I cannot take the stress. I need to go to a mental health professional.
Absolutely.
Not because I am not normal, but because I need some help and I need to increase my tools to deal with what is going on in my life.
To know that there are organizations that exist and are helping young people do this, and especially entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs. You meet a lot of people, you need money, you need to put your business idea, you need to do that, and you have a family. It becomes too much load on yourself.
Yeah.
So like you said earlier, they can contact you
Yes,
for assistance and to help them overcome these issues, which is also very important to talk about. What advice do you have for young people out there, or any individual that is watching us right now?
Yes, I would say stop to suffer in silence, because suffering is part of life and we need to express it. So reach out, we are available. We are coming up now also with some initiative in groups. So we are creating groups of boys, group of girls, and start to talk together about issues, because we are all going through difficult times, we are all going through difficult moments, through pressure. So if we really want to keep on functioning and keep on being contributed to our communities, it's important that we take care of ourselves and our mental health.
When you meet someone on the street, and the person is triggering you, like I said earlier, as a young entrepreneur, you meet a lot of people, and when they trigger you, how do you make sure you maintain that good mental health, aside the calmness we talked about earlier? Do you just bend back at them? Do you just sit them down? Do you just give them what they want and they go? I want us to emphasize on this point, because mental health is very important, but it's a topic that is not well discussed, and it's not even common. So please emphasize on that for the audience.
So again, every situation is different, but first of all, I need to take care of my mental health, which is a daily job. So taking care of the way I sleep, the way I eat, the way I interact, taking care of my feelings, find a way to express what is inside me that is not disturbing the others.
When you say taking care of the sleep, what does that mean?
It means that I realize that many people cannot sleep properly, but they are not taking charge of it. They think that is normal, but if I sleep 4 or 5 hours per night and I wake up, my mood is completely, distorted. I cannot just function normally. So probably I go to job and I just put all my anger on someone else. You understand? So we need to sleep. So we need to have a routine.
Averagely, how many hours?
But normally from 6 to 8 hours.
6 to 8.
We need to go to bed usually at the same time, wake up at the same time.
So there needs to be a discipline of monitoring your sleeping, your eating time.
The eating as well. We are just like cars. We can function with good petrol. If the petrol is not good, we will start to have problems. So what we put inside our mouth is very important. So we need to start, to questioning and to go more in depth in our lifestyles.
So that means you cannot help someone without you helping your first with these issues.
Thank you.
So that means it all goes back to the individual.
Thank you. Yes.
To work on these patterns and also to discuss about them, which is also very important.
Yes. Sorry, let me just add something. Forgetfulness, inability to focus, that are skills very important for a young entrepreneur, right? Are also symptoms of poor mental health. So when we start to forget, when we start to not to be able to focus, not to be able to do our tasks, is probably talking about our mental health being poor.
Is that something that has been there for a long time, forgetting too much? Because you find out that people are into different things at the same time. So perhaps people will say, I forgot because I have a lot of things to do. So that...
but that is dealing with the lifestyle. We are not machine. We are humans.
Absolutely.
So we need to accept our limitations and understand that we cannot, arrive everywhere, that we are not perfect. and we need to start to build our life according, to who we are.
Emphasize on that point. We are not machines, we are humans.
Machines. Yes, we are humans.
Which is very important.
Yes.
Accepting the fact that you are not a machine will help a lot, especially an individual who is multitasking.
And more we are compassionate and understanding and accepting towards ourselves, more we can also be towards the others.
Okay. As a sole entrepreneur, or let's say as a sole proprietor, you have a business that you have a lot of workers, different sections, different institutions, different training fields, and each of these is coming somewhere with their own issues, with their own. How do you maintain an employee, or how do you maintain employees with good mental health? What are the practices or cultures that you need to build in an organization to show?
So I truly believe that policies around the well-being of the workers should be in place. So as a company, you should have, an SOP.
Is that very common in this country?
I never see it. Except, I don't know if I can mention, I can mention
sure,
the name of,
sure.
Okay, MRC, with which we are collaborating.
Okay.
They have a well-being program for the staff.
Okay.
And we are also involved in some capacity building of some of the staff, because the attention is on how they can take care
So
of
that is, what are those policies that you will advise for business owners to implement in their organization?
When we are, as I was saying at the beginning, when we are in a good state of mind, we are also more productive.
Sure.
And more able to create healthy relationships. So it must be one of the goals of the company, to make sure that everyone is in a good place. Because if we are working in a nice environment with a nice atmosphere, and everybody is taking care of their own anger, their own stress, it's nice. We go to work, we are happy. But if we go to work and this one starts to throw his anger, the other one is stressed, the tension is there, the boss is, always with a frown face, how I can be productive? And then at home I have my own issues.
It becomes really difficult.
Yes.
So that takes us to the importance of having employees that have good mental health.
Yes, that they are aware.
And elaborate on the importance of that in an organization, in a business zone, or in a space where businesses are staged.
Yeah, and also have a kind of referral system. So in case someone is not well, being able to sense it and to refer the person to a mental health professional, because of course more someone stay in a condition, the more the risk to develop the sickness arises, I would say. And when the sickness is there, it's just like I have the ulcer, now I need to take care, I need medication, I need, so it's always better to prevent, or early intervention, I would say, really helps.
How important is break? Let's say a break or a holiday. How important is that in the life of an entrepreneur or an individual who is in a business space?
Yeah, of course, breaks are important, but I would say they are important on a daily basis. So we should never reach the state that, oh my God, I need to go on holiday, because it means that we are already pulling the rope a lot. So I always encourage every day, let's make sure that we dedicate time to our family, time to our friends, time to ourselves, time to work, and try to live our daily life in a way that is more healthy, more in line to our nature of being human beings.
But if you are used to dedicating your life to dealing with people, working and coming back, how do you have time for yourself? Because it's like something that is normal. Like all that you do is you do it for people. When do you start paying attention?
Yeah, but then you will develop a lot of sickness.
Yeah.
Chronic sicknesses, diabetes, hypertension, those type of sicknesses.
So mental health has to do more with personal discipline, how you treat yourself.
Can we call it self-love?
Self-love. Great.
I like it more, yes.
You like it more.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So it has more to do with self-love.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you are selfish? If you are exercising?
You can take it like that, but if let's say a mango tree doesn't receive water and doesn't find the nutrients in the soil, it cannot produce mangoes.
Absolutely.
So no one can enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, but if the mango tree is having, water and nutrients, then it can produce a lot of mangoes and people can enjoy it. So it's the same. If I take care of myself, people around me will enjoy because I'm always peaceful. I'm always having nice words for people. I'm always in a good state of mind. So my kids, my husband, my neighbors, they will enjoy it. But if I don't take care of myself and I always run after people, yes, I can end up being very rude maybe sometimes, or just locking myself in my room and not speaking the call, avoiding people because it's too much. I think it's better to be honest and understand that we come first because if we are not well, nothing is working. Yeah, so when, our needs are met, then we can also help other people to meet their own. Of course, emergencies are there. I don't want to be strict with that. But everyone can find his or her own balance. But in general, we are our priority.
So is there an exercise or any exercises that an individual can do on daily basis aside from sleeping and eating? Is there other exercises that an individual can do to help themselves to practice good mental health?
So I work a lot with meditation, with breathing exercise, because they help also the grounding, they help to forget about the thoughts, like switching off the mind.
How often should an individual do that?
So I think it's something that we should do every day. Every day. Yeah. And I also encourage a lot of mindfulness. That means being in the present moment. So we are here now talking. Yeah. Let's be present. Yeah. Let's, make sure that we are aware of the environment, of the sounds. When we are eating, let's be present. Let's taste the food, not, that we are eating and our mind is...
It's very difficult now, because you'll be eating, you're on your phone, watching TikTok, all that. Very unhealthy. Please talk about that. Please talk about that, because everybody is having their own gadgets, eating, drinking, and we are on TikTok, we are scrolling, which is also another habit. So how unhealthy is that?
Yeah, scrolling the phone is a way to distract ourselves and to lose our grounding. So sometimes it helps to forget about our own issues, but it never helps to solve our issues. So we need to start to optimize our time and realize that if we don't deal with the issues, we just drag them
and go.
Yes.
It keeps
yes, and issues are constantly coming because in this life is like this. So if we don't start to solve them, we will end up with a lot of issues and spending 12 hours of our time trying to forget about
social media.
So, and also if we are eating and we are scrolling the phone, our body will feel neglected.
Absolutely. So how long does the meditation needs to go on? How long?
2-3 minutes.
2-3 minutes.
Yeah,
important.
20 minutes, it depends how you enjoy. But you can also have a walk in the nature, for example. God give us the nature. Which is full of energy. You can also find your own way to nurture your soul.
Like going to the beach, walking down the street, quietly. So aside meditation, is there another practice that an individual can engage in? Because if you are living with a bunch of kids at home, it's going to be difficult to have that. What other practice can you recommend?
So let's say to be present.
To be present.
So when you are with your kids, you try to be with your kids. When you are working, you are working. When you close the office door, you close the office door.
What if you are tired?
Go and rest. Yes.
If you are hungry, you go and eat.
Yes.
I think that will help a lot. That will help a lot. Please share your final remarks and with our audiences.
Yes. So again, there is no health without mental health. So if we want to build a healthy society, let's start to take care of ourselves. So please read. Inform yourself, reach out to Peace of Mind, find your way to know more about mental health. Thank you so much.
Also share your website with people so that in case they want to look up more.
To reach out, sure. So you can find us on social media at POM Gambia, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And also the website is www.peaceofmindgambia.org.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. We are very glad that you're here with us, and we appreciate every bit of the time. That brings us to the end of the program. Thank you for being there. Don't forget to click like, click share, and comment below. Remember, you cannot handle it all. Seek help. Take care of yourself. Exercise self-love.
Yes.
It's very important as an individual. Love yourself, and it's bye-bye from me. I am Bita Sise, your host. See you next week.